let's say, for instance, you should know this formula from science. Speed is equal to distance over time.
Yeah.
Alright, which means that distance can be found by multiplying the speed and the time.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's say there's point A and there's point B, and we want to find the distance from A to B. And then we know that we're driving at 10 meters per second and the journey takes 2 seconds. Then you can say that the distance is 10 meters divided by multiplied by 2, which will give me 20 meters. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, but now what if I go backwards? Not from A to B, but from B to A. Am I going to get exactly the same?
Oh, well, the distance should be the same, yeah.
Okay, but remember, in science, when you change direction for velocity, your sign changes. So now you're going to get minus 20 meters.
Oh,
Okay, but now that is for distance. Now, can distance be minus? How's it possible to go minus 20 meters? I mean, if you're standing still at one place, you know, that's one thing. But you can't go minus 20 meters. It's impossible.
yeah.
Agree with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we do is we say that, which basically means, in plain English, that even if the answer is minus, you make it a plus. That's what absolute values mean.
Okay, so you... Okay.
Okay, that's in a nutshell. All that absolute values do would be to change a negative answer to a positive answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Now, let's look at the mathematics behind this, where you might have, say, we'll just think about this, say the absolute value of x. We can then say it is x if x is bigger and equal to 0. Alright? Do we need,
Okay.
and this is where you now need to stay with me, because this is going to sound very confusing at the beginning. It's going to make sense when we come back to this later, but for now you just need to really seriously concentrate with me. That thing which is inside the absolute values, we know that the absolute value signs will make that a positive. That's the bottom line of absolute values. But if that thing inside the absolute values is already bigger and equal to 0, in other words, it's already a positive anyway, we can write that without the absolute value signs. Do you agree?
Yeah.
But what do we do if x is smaller than 0? In other words, that little thing inside the absolute value signs has now become a negative number. How are we now going to make that a positive?
I don't know.
You multiply it by a minus.
Oh.
Okay, and that's it. So what you need to see, what I've done here, this is very, very important that you do see and that you stay with me. If that thing inside the absolute value signs is already a positive, we can write it without the absolute value signs. But if that thing inside the absolute value signs is a negative, we just multiply it by a minus, and then it becomes a positive anyway. And that is the bottom line of absolute values in terms of mathematics.
Okay.
Okay, does it make sense to you?
Yeah, I think we just need to go through a question just to put it into practice.
I will do the questions now. I just need to lay the foundation first. I need to understand that you understand what I've written there.
Yeah, I understand it, but I think
It's going to make a lot
just
more
having
sense if you listen
just
to
doing
this
a question
recording
will,
again later.
okay.
I just want to close this session by showing you how to draw an absolute value graph. So if I'm giving you, please draw y is equal to absolute value of x plus 2. You will then go back to what we've got there and say, okay, if that inside the absolute value signs is bigger and equal to 0, we can write this as y is equal to x plus 2. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, I agree with you.
We can write it without the absolute value signs if that which is inside the absolute value signs are positive anyway. So then we can just write it as is. But if x plus 2 is smaller than 0, then we will have y is equal to minus x plus 2. Happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that will give us x is bigger and equal to minus 2. That will give us x is smaller than minus 2. And that will give us y is equal to minus x minus 2. Happy?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's draw those two graphs. Do you know which two graphs I'm referring to?
The y equals x plus 2 and the y equals minus x plus 2.
Exactly. Exactly. So
Yeah,
let's
minus.
draw y is equal to x plus 2. Do you know how to draw a straight line graph? Quickly.
Yeah, I'd use the table method and just substitute in for...
Table method. Jason, please keep something in the back of your mind. Make a knot in your ear or something. I need to teach you how to draw a straight line graph quickly. Okay, table method is too long. You can't afford to use the table method in higher grade mathematics exams. Only for small, elementary graphs like exponential graphs and stuff like that, but not for straight lines and parabolas and stuff like that. You need to know how to draw it quickly. Alright, so that will be the positive graph, and that will be the negative graph. Alright.
Okay.
You happy so far? Assuming I'm right, just trust me on this. Alright. I have drawn the graphs correctly. But it is that graph when x is bigger and equal to minus 2. In other words, that part of the positive graph falls away, because it is only the positive graph on the right hand side of minus 2, and it is only the negative graph on the left hand side of minus 2.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's it. Absolute value graph drawn.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, using those rules.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it then.